Hello, so I'm trying to be quiet because my mom's in bed, but I'm gonna try and make a video trying to understand the logos. And I've come across this term quite a lot at college and from watching Jordan Peterson and just reading general philosophy. And yeah, I just want to see if I've got the right understanding. So basically, I'm gonna explain what I think it is, and then I'll probably end up going off on some tangents like usual, but then yeah, and I'll post it to YouTube, and if anyone's got any other information, any corrections, then that would be much appreciated. So just put them down in the comments. Yeah. So a way that I understand the logos right now is, I guess you could translate it as logic, but it seems deeper than that. It's like the archetype of logic, the archetype of which embodies the Western culture almost, or which. Or when I've been reading about it, there's different forms of the logos apparently, like Aristotle and the Stoics and all these different philosophers, they interpreted the word differently, but it all went along the same line of thinking. Another way you can look at the logos is from a Kantian perspective almost, and this also applies to Jung also, with the archetypes, and because Kant talked about having a blueprint for reality within our brains, and this is for all experience, including like I guess the metaphysical, which basically means beyond physical experience. So it's like it's for our emotions, for our speech, for all the other things that we can see tangibly, or not necessarily see tangibly, but all the things that we can observe empirically or measure. But then there seems to be another side to reality that we don't necessarily fully understand, but it's encapsulated within mythology almost, and that's like the history of our being. It's like it's almost like a genetic component to ourselves, but it's extremely historical. So it's like it goes back millions of years, or all the way back to our like extremely late ancestors, because we're going down an evolutionary spectrum, I guess you could call it, or an evolutionary track, and as well as what you can clearly see that we've evolved physically. Like I've got hands because at some point in time, and I'm not saying this was just like that, but at some point in time, it's like we started developing hands because they were suited for our survival. We developed two eyes, we developed hair, we developed nipples. I don't know. So we developed all these things, and why would we assume that it just stopped at the physical? And the logos is one of those things that has also been developed throughout time alongside the physical aspects of ourselves, and it's like it is essentially an archetype. It's the archetype of reason, and that's how I'm understanding it as. But I feel like I still don't completely grasp the concept. But then again, maybe I'm trying to look for a set definition, but I'm trying to get my mind to align with that definition, because I have a feeling. I feel like this is the same with everyone, but when I understand something, I feel it. It's like I feel like I have, or I guess just an understanding. It's like oh, okay, I get that. I could explain that. I can feel it, and it's like I'm starting to get a feeling where I can feel it, but I'm struggling to explain it. So I guess I haven't fully understood it. But I guess you could say that logos is basically the underlying reason. It's the logic. It's what governs our culture. Without it, nothing would make any coherent sense. We wouldn't be able to communicate because no one would be logical. No one would have the ability to reason, and it's that reason which allows us to communicate and allows us to understand each other, and understanding allows us to progress, and allows our species to stay alive. Like it's not necessarily a trivial thing, and one thing Jordan Peterson talks about is we are now rejecting the logos. We are now rejecting the metaphysical structure of reality, and this has come to be through the political system of, or lack of political system of postmodernism. And yeah, it's basically, we reject religion, or the idea of intrinsic meaning, and everything becomes relative, and there is no truth, and yeah, and we lose the logos. And then the ideologue is born, the ideologies, Marxism, Stalinism. We start to think that we can just redefine reality. We can create a political system. We can create something that has been naturally occurring for millions of years. Maybe not millions, I don't quite understand evolution completely, chronologically, or accurately from a chronological perspective, but yeah, it's something that's happened. It's just something organic, and it's like now we're trying to reject that, and it's not just with political systems in the sense of the way the system's run, but it trickles down almost into other aspects of our lives, like gender, for example. People are completely rejecting the idea that we have a gender at all, when we have these archetypes of the male and female. We don't have an archetype for no gender whatsoever, and that's an example of rejecting the logos, I guess. Or just, I don't know if the logos would encompass the archetypal male and the archetypal female. Yeah. Another thing John Peterson says the logos is he calls it responsibility. So it's like, if you embody the logos, you embody what you're supposed to be doing in your lifetime, and that is taking responsibility for things. And he also puts a lot of emphasis over responsibility comes before rights, or perhaps responsibility and rights are interchangeable. And this is probably why he criticises the radical left so much. It's because they put so much emphasis on the rights that they have, and they don't want to take any responsibility for that. And in this sense, he's quite conservative, I guess. But the way that he talks, it completely makes sense. And I've actually just recently lost one of my best friends, because she hasn't died, but yeah, she's left winger, and I've been watching a lot of Jordan Peterson. So, and he is, I don't know, I don't want to reduce him down to something on a political spectrum, because I think his work is a lot more complex than just that. But I'd say in comparison, he's rather right wing, and I've definitely noticed a shift in my political perspective since starting to watch Jordan Peterson, because there's truth to what he's saying. It's like he's communicating to the mythological archetypes which are pre-existent in my brain, but I haven't had access to because of postmodernism. They're just not prevalent in society anymore, and now he's sort of opened my eyes to that, and I actually love him. He's my favourite person. I've got him on the back of my phone case, but I can't show you right now because it's on the back of my phone case. But yeah. Anyway, I became a little bit more right wing, not massively, but just in some of my values. And my friend, she's left wing and she didn't like it, so she was like, "I'm not mentally strong enough to be your friend anymore." I was like, "Oh fuck this, bye." So I've gone. I'm not putting up with any shit. Yeah. Take responsibility. That's important. I feel like I didn't go off topic too much there, so yeah, logos is basically reason, logic, responsibility. It's the, I guess, the paramount archetype of Western civilization. It's like what holds everything together, and the rejection of the logos is perhaps the reason why we've had so much trouble in the 20th century, and that's just speculation. But anyway, this is going to cut out in like 10 seconds, so if you enjoyed, thanks for watching. Leave any comments to let me know if I've got this right, and yeah.